Hello there, Star Wars toy fans. This is Jim Kelsey, and thank you again for taking the time to stop by my channel. Today's topic is going to be on the infamous Kenner mini rigs. Those ships that were mysteriously behind the scenes, but were not shown by the camera when the movies occurred. So I'll turn the camera down so you can see the various mini rigs. And the curtains being opened, of course, by our gray feline down there. We have a brown one on the other side. They've come down to visit while I'm filming. And so here are 11 of the 12 mini rigs slash body rigs that Kenner produced between the years of 1981 through 1985. Now, at the time when I was a kid, I was 12 in 1981, and I was not impressed with these at all, because I knew that they were not in the movie, and that they were just a marketing technique as a way to get people to buy stuff. So that didn't really impress me. I thought it was dishonest at the time. But as an adult, I see it from two different angles now. Number one, as a marketing thing for Kenner, it was a way to bring the price point down on ships that actually had some pretty cool features for their day. And then two, as a parent, these are some of my son's favorite toys to play with. They're little, and they have a lot of neat play features. And so I have a different angle on that now. So I happen to know that these were priced at $7.10. How do I know that? Well, right down here we have an actual Kenner price guide sent to me by Kenner. And I'm going to put together a whole nother video on how I acquired this price guide sheet. But here we have the mini rigs, and this is real small print. But here we have the mini rigs, and they're priced at $7.10. Believe it or not, the AT-AT is priced at $68.30. So I'll go through that again on a whole nother video here in the future, talk about that and how I got that price guide from Kenner. But anyway, that gives you an idea of where those were, why these, were more accessible to parents of that era, as opposed to the $15, say, X-Wing fighter, or the $30 Millennium Falcon. I think I paid $35 for mine, and that was out of my own allowance. So, first thing I want to draw attention to is when these were produced. So, here are some original Kenner catalogs. This is the one from 1980, and these are the only ships produced during that year. No mini rigs. The X's are ones that I checked off when I was a kid. I did not have the snowspeeder. Here's 1981 catalog. Here's the cover of that. And now we have three mini rigs. 1981. 1982, they introduced two more mini rigs, those two in the back. And then they also introduced some other accessories, which they'll save that for another video. 1983, this is now in the Return of the Jedi. They eliminated the three, some of the earlier ones, and now we've got some additional two. So we've got what looks like a little miniature Imperial shuttle, and then this bizarre looking thing here. 1984, this is the last catalog that I have, and now they introduce those two ships there. I'm not sure if they had a catalog for 1985, and if they did, I do not own that. So let's talk about these ships here. And we'll begin with the ones on the left from the 1981 season. So we have the PDT-8, called the Personal Deployment Vehicle. PDT, Personal Transport Deployment. Okay, PDT-8. Kind of, I don't know. It's interesting. I guess it was supposed to be a droid transport, but it's got pegs for figures to stand on. And of course, C-3PO, he's got a hole in his foot, so he can stand there. But FX7 can't, but that's what they have pictured in there. Imagine if there's... okay, we just tilt a little bit and everybody falls over. Unless you're really short, you're going to fall out. They do have some opening doors that open and close on the front and rear. And like a vertical takeoff vehicle, like the Hawker Harrier, you can move the engines like this and lift them up. And of course, it has some guns here. They do move up and down, and then your landing gear. And this was my only mini rig from my childhood, and so some stickers have fallen off due to time. All right, so moving on, we have the MTV-7. I want my MTV. They have pictured a snow trooper in there. I never wanted to bend the cape and have this area tear, so I never did that to my snow trooper. These are all my childhood figures, by the way, with the exception of the Power of the Force ones that I got later. So this one, the wheels roll really nicely. It has spring-loaded action, so I guess you can go over any terrain, and then has a moving turret. Now the MLC-3, the mobile laser cannon, functions the same way. They have the Rebel commander seated in there. So the canopy lifts, has a nice dusty, smoky canopy. Guns have 3 levels of articulation. There we go. And then, of course, it has wheels on the bottom that allow that to roll. Guess it's supposed to go, all 3 of these are supposed to go over the ice planet Hoth. And the only one that I have instructions for is the PDT-8. And this is what that looks like there. It's just kind of a single sheet. There's nothing on the back of it. Now, I do have instructions for the next several vehicles. Those produced in 1982. And so here is the Cap 2, the Captivator, as it was called. And so these instructions show where to place the stickers, and then some of the action features on it. Now, this happens to be one of my son's favorite vehicles, and here it is there. Kenner said this was Bosk's official vehicle, Bosk the Bounty Hunter. So your legs have suction cups on them. They actually do suction if you moisten them. Has some arms for grabbing things, a little gun on the front. Here we can lift up the canopy. We can see the control panel there. Bosk just drops right in pretty easily. And then another neat feature, you move this little lever, button, whatever you want to call it, and these claws open up, and so you can expand something there in the back. The next vehicle from 1982 is the INT-4. And looks like somebody got their instructions a little too close to the heater. That was not I, as I got this ship as an adult. But again, it shows you sticker placement and then some of the movement features, which I'll describe to you here. So here we have the Interceptor 4. Almost looks like a Scout Walker head, kind of. Have your landing gear and has a gun here. They had the ADAT driver pictured, so I seated him in there. Sits really nicely. I guess he's supposed to look out through this red screen, red lens. The canopy snaps in place, or the top, and then it also has a little lever that lowers the wings down. Now, you're not going to get a whole lot of lift with those wings, guaranteed. So I guess it's going to have to work on computers, much like Lockheed F-117 does. Now, for the 1983 year, they introduced 2 ships. One was the ISP-6, which looks like, really, kind of like a miniature Imperial shuttle. And this is one of my favorite vehicles of all of the mini-rigs. It probably ranks up there right there with the Desert Sail skiff. And this one, again, shows where sticker placements go. And then it has various figures, or various features on it. It has Darth Vader going in there. I was never really a big fan of making figures that had capes sit, because it potential damaging the cape, even as a kid. I damaged my Darth Vader's cape once in trying to get the TIE Fighter, and that was it for me. So anyway, this is really quite a neat rig, I think, personally. The canopy lifts up. You can see the nice detailed stickers on the inside, and then it latches in place right there. And then, of course, you have forward guns here, but that's not all this does. So you're going to see this black little latch there. So when I pull that back, then the wings pop down. And now it really does look like an Imperial shuttle. Now, the ingenious aspect of the whole thing is you see these are gears. And these gears interact with gears on the inside. So when I push this lever up and latch it, then the wings pop up. So really quite neat. Neat little rig. Now the next one talk about is Armored Sentinel Transport, AST-5. This one is kind of a pointless vehicle. It's even worse than the PDT-8 in my opinion. Okay, so what exactly, how does a guy fly it and still see? I don't know. Even still, I mean, it's got Klaatu pictured in the box, but he doesn't even fit in here. In fact, Nikto barely fits. I mean, you can see Klaatu's shoulders are just way too wide. But it's got some neat little stickers there. It's supposed to latch in place. And then, okay, is he going to fly this way? Okay, your engines are here. All right, so that means you would fly this way, but now you can't see where you're going. Okay, it's got guns. And even if you fly it this way, well, now you're going to have a lot of drag. All right, so let's go this way. Okay, well, maybe that's the way it's supposed to go, because we see engines here. I still don't understand how Nikto is going to see how he's flying. Maybe you can write in the chat area how that's going to happen. Put that in the comments. All right. For the 1984 season, we had two vehicles. And the Desert Sail Skiff and the Indoor Forest Ranger. So, taking a look at the Sail Skiff, here are the instructions for that. And you can see sticker placement again. And then the back side shows some of the features that it has. And this is one of the weirdest features. I'll show you that here in a moment. So here we have the Sail Skiff. This has to rank up there with one of my favorite ships that they have. Unfortunately, Klaatu doesn't really stand well. His stance is too wide to fit within that small little area, but there is a peg. The guns do move up and down here. These little trident guns, I suppose. And there's a little knob here that you just turn. And you can turn not only the guns, but also the fins in the back for steering. There's your engines, lights. Has a little shade here. That's nice. You definitely want that on Tatooine with the hot weather. Folds back like so. And then we have this bizarre feature that I just showed you, this plank. Okay. So, number one, okay, if you're going to have Luke drop off that, how are you going to get him out there in the first place? This can only fit one person. If you were lucky to get two, is he going to slide down there and just stand on the... I don't know. Anyway, aside from that, it's a really cool ship. Okay, looking at the Indoor Forest Ranger. Now, this is one of the most interesting ships that has... I'm not sure what purpose. How it got through the forests of Endor without running into something is beyond me. So let's look at the positive side. All right, so we have some guns. You see there we have forward guns and two side guns on these wings, if you will. The canopy opens up, and I've got them upside down, apparently. Let's rotate that. All right, so you can see they've got the Rebel Commando in there, and we got some stickers that have some screens and so forth. Stickers on the top. So that latches in place nicely. Has these little landing gear that kind of remind me of like wasp legs, you know, how the legs kind of dangle as it flies. All right, and now here's the odd thing. It's a neat feature. I mean, watch this, okay? So the guns twist, but how does this thing move through the forest? Yeah, okay. Or does this stationary and this twists? And then your commander goes up and down all over the place. I don't know, because either way, here are your engines. The engines are going to be spinning. It doesn't make logical sense to me, but that's the Indoor Forest Ranger from 1984. So, now we get into 1985. Whereas all the other mini rigs had boxes, came in boxes, here in the United States, these last three mini rigs came on these cards with blister packs. And I'm told, excuse me, that the blisters have yellowed so badly and gotten brittle with age that they're really kind of worthless. And you're lucky to find one that's all intact. But here we show the three mini rigs here. And the Imperial Sniper is the one I'm missing. It's the rarest and most expensive of them all. And Unless I win the lottery, I probably won't ever acquire one. But anyway, so we'll talk about the Sand Skimmer and then the Security Scout real quickly. These were at a price point of $5.99, I think, $4.99, so fairly reasonable. So here we have the Sand Skimmer, and Barada is on there. And this is not from my childhood. These Power of the Force figures, I was a senior in high school when they came out, so I really wasn't into Kenner toys at the time. And so it's got this little gear here, thumb gear, which rotates your front trident gun as well as a sail. And this one, you know, kind of fits the theme of Jabba's ships with the sail barge and the sand skiff. That's really all it does. Nothing more. And then we have the Security Scout. It's an interesting rig, kind of like almost like kind of Rocket Man type deal. It has these little guns that rotate and click. Lever, which I suppose he's controlling the ship. And it's got a belt that straps him in. I would assume that these are like headphones for communication. I don't know. They come down. And then, of course, we have a rudder here that's for steering. So, neat little thing. So, anyway, here we have, again, the 11 out of 12 mini rigs that Kenner produced. I hope you found this video informative. And please put a thumbs up and like and give me some comments and feedback. Thank you for your time.